Yo, what's up guys? It's Shy Guy. So I just got done finishing the Killing Floor 3 beta. I was gonna make this video on day 1, but I really did want to play the game like through the full 3 days to really get a grasp on the game. The gameplay you're watching right now is my first ever like game playing Killing Floor 3, and as you can see, like throughout the video my disappointment increases as I realize the issues in the game. I really did want to like this game. I love Killing Floor. Killing Floor, I played 1 a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of 1 because it's a little too serious for me, but 2 is just the perfect zombie game. I still think Killing Floor 2 is probably top 3 zombie games ever, like ever. It does everything perfectly, and I have clocked so many hours on that game with my friends, and honestly, going into this game, I was so excited. I was so excited to play this game. I was ready to indulge in Killing Floor again, but I'm probably gonna wait until this game gets a little bit more time to cook in the oven. As you guys all probably know, everyone's not really happy with the way the game looks. It's probably like a 90-10% ratio. I'm in between because it's not like I don't like the game. I'm not a fan of what it's doing, but I see the potential this game has because I still do love Killing Floor, and I still feel the Killing Floor aesthetic in this game. I'm gonna do a pros and cons just so you guys understand what's good and bad about the game, and I'll give you like a verdict if you should get the game or not. Alright, so for the pros, immediately, the Z design, in my opinion, is great. I have no issues with the Z design. It's the future, they're going to be more metallic, some of them will be different. They're all interesting, they're all new. I have no complaints with them. I love the new moves, I love the new different animations that some of them do. I'll get into that in the con, because the animations aren't good, but the Husk have new animations, the Flesh Pounds have new animations. It's very cool, and I like the direction they're going with that. Secondly, the upgrade system. There's a class system and there's an upgrade system. Okay, now the class system I don't really have a huge issue with because specialist abilities aren't a big problem, especially in a game like this, so it's not a big issue with me. But I love the upgrade system where you can upgrade your weapons, and then you can upgrade your perks. These things to grind for are like things I love about games, especially ones that are solo. It's not competitively making you do it so you have a you have a lead in the competition. You can just do it for your own well-being. It's a solo game, and the more things to progress towards, the better. It's great. I love it. And like the weapon customization, all that stuff is great. But obviously some design decisions weren't the best, but I'll get into that in a minute. The gore in this game is actually amazing. I don't think anyone really notices the gore because I mean, I have to run the game on low graphics or else my game cannot run, but this game really does have that really good like violent-esque look to it. Like if you shoot certain parts of the Z, instead of like body parts coming off, it's just flesh. Like it's very detailed in that aspect. I was trying with my friend when we started playing the game more, and we noticed that it was kind of cool. Lastly, the movement. The movement's great. I really like the way you move in this game. I wasn't always a big fan of just running in a straight line in other Killing Floors. Having that movement, I don't know, makes it feel, it definitely makes you feel more agile, makes it more fun, especially since the boss, I'm gonna get into that too. The bosses are ridiculous. There's one boss in this game that needs to be completely removed or fixed, but other than that, without sliding, some of these boss battles will literally be completely insufferable, but also some of the Zeds will be completely insufferable. So it's just like getting used to that movement really just helps. It's choppy though. The movement is choppy, but a little bit of fine tuning could definitely help. But that's pretty much it for the pros, and we can start getting into the cons now. I'm not gonna just go down a long list of all the problems in this game because there's a lot, but I'll pretty much point out the key problems. Okay, now firstly, the character designs. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. I do not like the character designs. I don't think anyone likes the character designs because they are boring. They are boring and bland. It looks like you just went on a stock image website and just pulled out random basic designs for different characters. Like, oh, I'm gonna make the medic look like a medic. You know, like it's just like, I understand, but why? I think the worst, most cancerous design has to be the engineer. I physically want to punch my monitor looking at that. It looks like it's from Advanced Warfare. I don't even care if it's in the future. He literally looks like he's from Call of Duty. It's just like, how come Mr. Foster is the only person who gets to stay? I'm assuming what they're gonna do, since it's a live service, they want to release more characters, and we're gonna see like more characters who come out throughout the months. Every 2 months, a new ability. I already understand what they're trying to do, but don't do it like this. This is not how you want to do it. I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna look good. What they should do is release different specialists every 2 months for people to try out, and then upgrade something else they can do. Then you could pick whatever character you want. I honestly wouldn't even be complaining this much if the characters were separate, because the character designs are one thing, but at least I can pick a character that I want. I am stuck playing a character that I do not like. Honestly, the medic class looks fine to me, so I don't really complain about that, but I immediately did not want to pick the engineer. I immediately did not want to pick the firebug. And honestly, I never really played the support role, so I don't play Mr. Foster. I'm actually not even a big fan of his character. I always liked the other characters in Killing Floor 2. But even then, sorry, it's like I'm being forced to play a character I don't want to play just to have the ability. It's just, stuff like this doesn't work, and they have to either just separate it or remake the character designs, because I'm not playing a character with an ability who just looks insufferable. That's the problem. All right, and then we got performance issues. I think we already know the universal agreement. It's 2025 and this game runs like I'm on a Nokia pad. I don't get how this is a problem. I have a 3060 Ti, I have a Ryzen 7. It's more than enough to run a game on medium graphics. All right, I loaded the game on high. I put it to medium just so I can get more frames. I always play my games on medium. I play this game on medium. First of all, it looks already horrible. Second of all, it is freezing, stuttering, and it can barely run at 60 frames. What is happening? This game barely looks better than Killing Floor 2. Why is this an issue? I was very confused, and me and my friend, he even has the same specs as me. We both had to agree that we had to put our settings completely low. You can literally see it right here in the background. He was complaining about how high looks exactly the same as medium, and as I changed it, you could literally see there's no difference. It's the same game, and I'm confused on why you still lose frames playing at a higher graphic. Immediately I start stuttering, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to turn it back down after this because this is insufferable. And my frames went down, and my game is now running like trash. I don't get how it's so like far in the future and performance issues are still a huge problem on games like this. Like it's crazy. I don't want to be a huge knack because obviously it's the beta, maybe it's not optimized, but the last time I used that excuse for Battlefield 2042, and I immediately know promises won't be held, so I'm not gonna get too I guess I'm not gonna get too hopeful. Then we have the animations. Now there's certain animations I have to be very specific about. It is Z animations, okay? Z animations and character animations are horrible. I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. I mean horrible, and I don't like using that word. You're gonna see in a bit. I'm gonna get grabbed by this scrape. Just watch how it looks. Not only the frames are horrible, but the animation was terrible. How are we 0 for 2 there? The Z animations aren't bad for themselves, but the Zs don't move normally, and they also aren't fluid. Including for 2, I'm pretty sure it's mocapped. So in this game, you can clearly see how the Zs move so awkwardly, and it's kind of an eyesore. Especially some of the bigger Zs, they move very like poorly. On top of everything, we have the character specializations. As you can see, my game literally almost crashed. Like my whole OBS system is about to crash playing this game, and you can literally see how my computer is about to break. I'm laughing at how poor the optimization is. But the specialist use abilities are probably even worse than the Z animations, because unbelievably so, the Z animations are actually the least of the problems in the situation. You clearly saw me use my ability there, and it looked like the most stiff animation ever. I think my friend's playing the Firebug, and her animation's even worse. Both animations are horrible. It looks like it was made in literally 30 seconds. Like they just got a PNG up and down and that was it. How are we doing animations so poorly? I don't get it. I don't want to nitpick, but stuff like that really ruins the immersion of the game, and that completely just desensitizes me every time I use my specialist ability. It's very bad. They need to fix animations. Speaking on animations and looks, the weapon design in this game is even worse than the character design, in my opinion. Every weapon looks like a block. I don't know what that's about, but not only that they look like a block, they just look like copied and paste blocks. Everything looks the same. They don't feel good, they don't look good. There are a couple of them that are actually better than I thought. Honestly, there's a couple of them that are actually pretty good. I'm not sure which ones exactly, because my friend said on the Firebug class there were a couple good ones, but to me, no, the medic class had just trash. I'm not gonna lie. The only one that obviously looked good was MP5, because, you know, it's the MP5, it's recognizable. But if you're making new guns, you could take iterations from older guns. They don't all have to be just big blocky weapons. I don't get the purpose of doing that over and over again. It kind of gets repetitive and bland. And also, there wasn't a lot of guns in general. Hopefully there's going to be more on launch, but just 4 guns kind of seems counterintuitive for a game like Killing Floor, where you are supposed to have so many options, so many choices, yet we have 4 choices that are all just boring. So I'm gonna play some gameplay of my last complaint, which is the bosses. Now, once again, all the bosses aren't bad. Out of the 3, there's only one significant boss that's an issue. The shark, the crawler boss, they're fine. I have no issues with them. For the 20 hours of playing, those bosses have been fun to verse. I've usually won most times versing them on difficulties over hard or around hard. No issues. But the thing is, me and my friend pray. We pray that we do not get the Chimera, okay? And the reason is, if we're not on normal, we will not beat the Chimera, okay? After a good amount of time, when we got like to our character's level 20 and up, the boss was easier. We definitely beat it at those times, but I don't really like the idea that a boss should be literally impossible unless you are playing super passively to beat when you're under level 20. It should not be like that. This boss is not well designed. I have versed this boss many times on hard, and every single time me and my friend either purposely die or we attempt and waste our time. Because the same thing happens. You spend a hot hour on the first phase, breaking its armor, getting to the flesh for the second phase. The second phase begins and it just starts moving everywhere. I don't have gameplay here because we didn't even get to the second phase because we're playing hard on level 1 characters. But when you get to the second phase, if you don't have at least 3 people, it's insufferable. It's so painful, so unfun to play, because you have to play super passively and slowly. And the second one of you guys run out of those syringes, it's over. Because how are you gonna heal? Unless you have 2 medics, or unless you're spamming the boxes before, which we did learn eventually, that you could throw a bunch of them before the round starts and they'll be usable once the round starts. So that's a little bit of cheese you can use. But even then, we used all the syringes from all the nonsensical attacks that this thing will send at you. But honestly, other than that, all my cons, all my pros, I do see potential for Killing Floor 3, and I really want it to succeed, as I really love this game, and I love, you know, everything behind this game, everything this game stands for. So I just pray that some way, somehow, this game succeeds. I'm just hoping for the best, because honestly, with the way it's looking right now, the direction's not the best, but games improve, and games definitely can improve. So the verdict is, don't get it on launch. That's just the sad truth. Do not get it on launch. Get it a couple, I would say maybe a month or 2 after they start realizing they have to change some things. Killing Floor is Tripwire's baby child. If this game doesn't work, they're screwed. They know that, and they will do what they have to do to make sure this game's good. And I hope they do what they have to do to make sure this game's good, and they will. And I have hope for this game. I love this game, but I am not getting it on launch simply because it's not gonna be worth it. It's just the sad truth. And I don't think any of you guys should do it either. Even though I don't speak for you, get it if you want, play if you want, but I'm gonna wait. I already had my ample time playing the beta. I had a good time, but I just want to make sure the game's finished before I do purchase it. So that's just me. But honestly, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Tell me if I missed anything, or tell me if you think differently of anything, because everyone has different opinions. My opinions are definitely not correct. They're just things that I think. Everyone has different thoughts. Everyone's all over the place with this game. Some people like it, some people hate it. I'm in the middle ground. I like it and don't like it, you know. I like it and I see future with it, you know. But yeah, honestly, give me your thoughts. Tell me what you guys think about the game. And honestly, let's just hope this game just takes a better step in the right direction.